You might find arms are in externally rotation if you want, palms forward, open heart, or you choose hands on body. Maybe one hand on heart, one hand on belly, or both on belly, or both on heart. Deep breaths, in nose, out mouth. Let the knees soften. Ah. Arriving here into this very moment, meeting yourself here, and noticing as you quiet yourself, you feel your feet landing through all your toes, your heels. There's a gentle rooting into the earth, into the mat. Very soft, 60 to 70% effort mat. Feel how the breath flows through you. Maybe there's an inhale through nose, a pursing of the lips, blowing the breath out slowly through the lips, feeling that extension of the exhale. Sometimes with that exhale, you can also feel that coupled with the exhalation, there's a downward flow of energy that transcends from above your skull, from spirit sky, through your skull, through your body, through your pelvis, your legs, into your feet, and then through your feet into the earth. And when you inhale, that energy rises up. So you might feel as you press down into the earth, a lifting up through body as you receive prana and energy, a widening. So just float with this essence of exhale, dropping, surrendering into the gravitational pull of the earth. And then that inhale, allow yourself to lift, to widen, extend, receive. And then that exhale, release, soften into the earth. And as you root the feet down before the inhalation comes in, you'll feel this awareness of staying connected to earth as you rise up and expand. Notice what's accompanying you into practice today through body, any whispers of spaciousness that are already present, any awareness of body holding very softly in areas or maybe a little bit more contracting in others. Just be compassionate in this inquiry as you move through body. Just allowing whatever's here to be here, with this loving kindness. Notice how the thoughts are. Maybe there's an emotional awareness floating in. And take a few more rounds of breath just to create this baseline for us as we notice, how do I feel as I arrive? And then noticing as we move through the tools, what is resonating with you today? So keep this quality of expansion on the inhale, receiving this exhale, gathering in, releasing. So allowing this flow of breath and energy and prana to support you today. And that whatever is needed to release from body and mind has the space today. And then you can allow yourself to open and really embrace whatever is being offered to you today. Okay, so if the eyes were lowered, softened, or closed, just take your time to open them. Hands are on body, release. Okay, we're going to feel, hey, which side of the body was speaking to you a little bit more? And that's the side that I want you to start rolling on. So anchoring through one foot, leg. So there's a rooting down through all the toes, the heel, that lifting up through the lower belly, the gathering in. Some of us like to use that SH breath, that We talked about this gathering in last week. Some of us like to even bring our hands to body as we exhale. You can feel these horizontal muscles gathering in through this linea alba ligament from the pubic bone to the xiphoid process. So our transverse abdominis and all of our abdominal muscles are gathering in. Sometimes we feel there's a little separation. It usually comes around the belly button. So I really want you to feel, especially the transverse gathering in and kind of hugging in around the navel area today. And then just wait as you keep rooting, that opposite leg foot will lift. Some of you might bounce, some of you might kick a ball. You might even feel a little circling. You notice, do I need to touch down at times? Keep pulling out the crown of the head or the tips of the ears. And you start foot rolling on whatever you want. So I've also got a ball beside me today. So you might feel the ball or the dowel coming in. Yeah, good. Nice, Tracy. Okay, so checking in as you roll from toes to heel in that combing awareness, combing out the knots of the fascia and the plantar, so foot fascia. So a tool we can do every day. Okay, so you might roll in, do the big toe to the inner heel. So that's your medial arch, and then roll out. It feels that it resonates with you from pinky toe to outer heel. Yeah. Times even pressing down on the dowel and just hold in compression. You might hold for a couple breaths. You might just press down and then ease off on the inhale. So the compression helps to send messages to the muscles to start to let go and release. And so sometimes it takes a while. Remember, we can hold or work in one area up to about 2 to 3 minutes max. And then in research, it says, okay, it's time to move on. Just noticing, is there a pattern each time you meet yourself where you tend to hold in the same place? I know I have them. So you take your time, you stay on that first foot for as long as you want. I'm just standing on the dowel for a moment just to feel difference from right to left. But you can also come off, root, do your proprioceptive balance on the other side, and just wait until you press down. I was taking a workshop with my teacher, Linda, on the weekend, and she was talking about this awareness of going down. And I love her analogy. She always says, "Hey, you know, when you're standing in an elevator and before you go up, the elevator drops down and then just a little, and then it goes up. So it's the same. It's called ground force reaction. Okay, it's the laws of physics and movement that when you pause and you drop down and then you root, that helps you fly up. So in order to go up, we must go down first. I just thought I'd offer you that because I really liked it. Like the minute she said it, I was like, yes. Right? Because if we go up without a down, I don't know about you. I'll use myself as an example. I start spinning. Yeah. And so when we go down first, then we have that roots, we have that foundation to support us in the flying up. And you'll remember this the next time you're in an elevator. You'll be like, wait, there's what Michelle was talking about. There's the down. I'm just hearing intuition awareness saying, yep, you'll be in their head when they go in an elevator next. Ah. So, knowing we are not, most of us, symmetrical in how we hold, so we can really have this investigation, this inquiry, and we're doing it in a compassionate lens today and loving kindness as we explore what is holding on this side. What is body needing? What is it ready to release? Some of us might bring in the pin and twist. Talks about that wringing out using that sponge analogy. As we squeeze out a sponge, we're releasing any of that stagnation of liquid, hydrational fluid in the fascia. And then when we release, it'll hydrate and just draw up 2 to 3 times as much moisture in the area. So just feel ah, what is needed to release. What is needed to complete. And we just can let our dowels and our balls go off to the side. Let's take it right into a forward fold today. So we're just going to feel our feet hip width apart. And we're going to feel that pausing as we root into the toes and the heel. And then there's just a shifting that happens. So as we inhale and exhale, we keep the toes rooted, but we shift a little bit more weight onto the heels. And then we send the pelvis back. We widen the sit bone. And then we allow the arms to release. And then shift a little bit more weight into the toes. So you feel toes and heels, and you're at a right angle. Okay, so head shifting forward, pelvis releasing back, SH breath, arms dangling or circling or swaying. Wiggle fingers from time to time. Let energy move through the wrists, through the fingers, through the hands. You have a choice. Do you want to go a little bit farther? Maybe sit bones, tailbone reach up, and the spine and the head release down. Hmm. Arm positions, if you want, you can bend the knees quite generously, tent the fingers, and press all the pad of the fingers into the floor. Thumb, index, middle ring, pinky. You can feel a little integrity of the ball of the shoulder slide into communication with the socket. Shoulder blades slide up your back. Adds a little freedom to the neck. Sometimes we like to do a yes or a no movement just to articulate through the skull and see 1, 2, 3 upper vertebra of the neck. And then we're going to bend the knees quite generously. Sit the pelvis down. As you do that, the torso will start to lift. The arms will come forward. Shoulders are quite relaxed. Yeah, good. Root through all the toes, the heels. Notice. I know for me, my inner heel on one foot doesn't carry the weight as much. So just check in, investigate what part of your foot needs to come in just a little bit more. Okay, if you can, take another breath or two if you want to come up. Feel free. When you are ready, we're going to press down with the feet. Inhale, reach up. Let's exhale the arms out to the side. Let's go into a few swinging twists when it feels right for you. Notice how the breath wants to be. Sometimes there's just spontaneous releases out the mouth, sighs. Mm. And you'll know when you feel ready to slow it down. And we're just going to do it's really strong. I'm getting really strong message that we need to do a little shaking and jostling today. So you can just kind of start. It's funny, you could hear it and feel it. Your body was already doing it. I was like, my intuition was like yelling at me in the head. I was like, I got it. I heard you. Okay, so just let there be a little jostle. And this can be as deep as you need it to be. Let your whole body just receive it. And sometimes there's even, it gets a little bit deeper and you start to hop. Really good for the lymphatic system, your fascia. Yeah. I'm just going to move away from the wall because my arms are wanting to swing. Oh, sometimes good to let this unfold for 30 seconds, even a minute. So you just let yourself feel. This helps open the body so that your energy body can start to move freely. And we're going to do a little bit of flicking. So just check in with your arms and just kind of flick. Yeah. Maybe a little flicking the legs. Oof. Just feel whatever's not needed kind of flick away. Oh, I'm just going to do this for another 10 seconds or so. Yeah. Okay, so let's do our fascia flow of side bending. So right arm up, left hand can take the wrist as we exhale, tug it over. And then just let yourself explore. So it might be forward, might be out to the side and back. You might want to switch and hold the other hand on the opposite wrist as you go the other side. So just listen. Oh, okay. So when we do this compassionate inquiry of the body and we give space for movement, that doesn't have to always be linear or repetitive. The fascia really likes it when we mix things up. So that has to come from a place of listening and allowing. We're going to interlace fingers when you want to follow along, press them out, lean back through the shoulder blades, widen the shoulder blades. So that means pull them apart, let the back door of your heart open. Just breathe here. Head may bow, knees may bend. Sometimes I think of my arms kind of like a steering wheel, and I just kind of turn them a little bit to the left and the right. Beautiful. We're going to push that up with the palm of the hands and then take it behind the skull. Now soften the interlace of your fingers so the weave is really gentle. Your thumbs can just be touching the base of the skull. A leaning head back into skull, hands supporting that lean like a hammock. And we're going to open elbows, open heart. So you're going to shift weight into the toes. As you shift into the toes, you're going to lean forward through thighs, lift through pubic bone, lift through belly, lift through heart, throat, gaze. As you exhale, shift back into your heels, sit bones reach down, lower back rounds, middle back, upper back, head, elbows gather towards skull. But remember, when your head folds down, it's still leaning up into your hands. Then you're going to go back and forth, shift forward into toes, extension through opening thighs, pubic bone, upper chest, throat, neck, and then back as you round from your heels all the way up through body. But just make sure you're not tugging too hard on the head. There's that leaning up. Okay, so you can stay here with the hands. We evolved this, which we're going to continue on this week. So as you come up into extension, I want you to release the hands and just open them out to the side, palms face forward. And now as you exhale forward, we're going to bring the arms forward, go into your rounding. And then as you inhale, palms open. And as you exhale, arms come forward and palms down. So just let this flow. If the arms don't feel comfortable bringing into it, it is a little bit more of an intermediate flow. You're letting your whole body undulate. The fascia loves to undulate. Yeah, and just let that release whenever you're ready. Take a moment. Almost kind of like flying. If I could feel what flying was like, my family won't let me fly, so I'm still gonna do it though. Okay, so I want to do because we have not done a little bit deeper through quad today. So some of us, hence I did grab my strap, but you might not need it. Okay, so some of us might feel, oh, in order to release quad, I might need to strap my foot. And some of you might also feel holding the wall. So I'll show, and you can choose whatever side, but there's a couple things that I want you to note. So if grabbing hold of the foot or the ankle is not something that feels good, then you can have a very soft loop and loop it around the ankle. So you can hold it, you can also bring it up over the shoulder. Okay? If you can grab the foot, you want to be able to draw the calf and the heel towards the back of the thigh. And all of us, and I'm going to shift this so you can see it, I want you to start to point your knee down to the floor. Good. And now even press the hand and the thigh into each other. So use the wall, use the strap. Okay? If the left arm wants to reach up, you can. Keep an open heart. Yes, there it is. Keep that big toe rooting on your standing leg. There it is for you, Teresa. Find your easeful breath. Natarajasana, dancer. When you're ready, you're going to release that. Let the legs shake out. Let the arms release. Okay, let's try other side. Okay, so you decide, do I want to use the strap? Hey, gonna layer on one other thing today. I'm gonna do it without the strap just because it's easier for me to talk and I'm gonna turn towards you. That when you grab hold, okay, the leg also wants to wing out to the side. So you need to gather the inner thighs together and then release the knee down thigh. Good. Ooh, and I just found something new. This is really nice. And I won't tell you until you come out because you're all focusing. It might be too much, but some of you that can grab hold of the foot. What I did was I was like, oh, I'm just going to use the wall to help me as I'm teaching today. And I pulled the foot towards me and then I put the foot on the wall. Yeah. Well, I've done sole of the foot, but not top of the foot. So what I've got is top of the foot on the wall. So if you want to try it one more time, let's go through it. And you might even feel top of the foot. Yeah. Okay. Something different's happening. That just kind of floated in today. You might even want to go closer, Candace. You're only about an inch or two from the wall. I think you need. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice, right? Yeah, the top of the foot does get really tight. So you're gauging, do I want to hang for a little bit longer or not? Ah, there it is. Yes, that's gonna lift up through pubic bone a little bit more. There it is. Mm-hmm. It's nice with the wall because you don't actually have to hold on. You just have to get your foot there. We've done it before, and I'll just with having the sole of the foot at the wall and then releasing down, which is another option, but top of the foot is really nice. Okay. I want to do quite a bit of work on the floor today. So we're going to transition now to the floor. So you're going to find the short end of your mat. Take a few breaths, little check in here. Hands can be already in palm to palm, thumb at the heart center. Notice your feet, the feeling through legs to pelvis, through belly, through heart and rib cage, through throat and head. Feel the touch of the hands. Just notice yourself in your wholeness as you exhale, arms release down, maybe a soft bend. And then push your feet into the floor to float the arms up. Maybe gaze follows. Inhale up. Exhale, shift the weight back a little bit. In order to forward fold, you go as deep or as little as you want. Then even the weight out, your toes and heels. Let your head go if that's yours to do. Feel a slow, easeful breath, nice and fluid today. Bend the knee. Place the hands on the mat nice and wide. You spread the fingers so they're in front of your feet as far forward as you need. You're going to take a big step back with one foot and the other foot. If you choose, downward facing dog, that inverted triangle, pushing the floor away. Knees can bend. And then you can extend one heel, reach it towards the floor. Remember what it was like when we pressed pads of the fingers tented into the floor and the shoulder blades slid up the back. That is happening here as you walk out through the other leg. You take your time to be here. When you're ready, you find child's pose when it draws you to the earth. Knees can be together, thighs or apart, allowing the pelvis to sink back to a place that feels good in the flexion of the knees. So try not to go too far, and then let the torso descend. Arms can wiper to one side. Feel the arms softly reaching forward, out the fingers, and the pelvis reaching back. We always explore that oppositional tug to keep the biotensegrity of the body communicating as a whole. You can go through center, other side when you're ready. You'll know when you feel ready to come back to center. So we are going to go up into a little bit of work on our hands and knees, or if it doesn't feel good on hands and knees, you can always be on elbows and knees. And I do want to find a weight. If you don't have a weight, you can even hold on to a ball or something in the hand just to bring a little bit more integrity. So my left side tends to be closest to camera, so I am gonna start with left hand. So you can just have the weight just underneath you for a moment. Want you to exhale, pull in that SH breath. So feel that wrapping. Tuck the toes under for a moment. I push the floor away through hands or forearms and through the pads of the toes. And I want you to hover the knees just off the floor. So see if you can lift up by doing that SH breath. Yeah, so you're just hovering, yeah, just off the floor. It's about an inch or two, not very high. Take one or two more breaths if you can. Good. Just doing a little core activation here. And then you're going to lower down. Good. Flatten the top of the feet. Now you're going to grab hold of the weight or what you're using in left. And we're going to do a little bit of tricep awareness. So try. We have three muscles on the back of our arm, and they connect to just below the socket of the arm. And what their job is to help stabilize and draw the shoulder blade down. So we're going to have elbow really close. We're going to let the arm holding the weight very softly, and then we're going to just kick back the weight so it stays quite close to body. And then you can turn the palm, so the palm's facing body, and then you're going to turn it up. And then you're just going to push it up a little bit, and then inhale it back. And as you exhale and extend the arm, palms facing towards the body, then you're going to turn palm up and just kick it up into the air a little bit, and then inhale back. We're going to do that again. Exhale, extend the arm, palm up, kick it up into the air, bring it back as you bend. So inhale, exhale, kick it up, bring it back. And now see, do I want to do another one or two or three? Yeah, there you go. So when the arm extends, some of you has the palm up the whole time. So when the arm extends, the palm's facing your body. Then once you're in that full extension, then the palm turns up and there's a little lift. And then the palm turns back towards body and lowers down. Good. So let's just pause, just so we don't do too much. Let's tuck the toes under. Okay, we're going to go back up into that little bear hover. So we're going to inhale, exhale, gather in just a little bit as the knees come up. SH breath if you want. Shh. Beautiful. Take another breath if you want. Shh. And then you're going to lower when you see fit. So some of you will take one more breath. Some of you might feel like you want to lower. Good. Then you're going to switch that weight into the other hand, top of the feet on the floor. Okay, grab the elbow close to the body, the inner arm. Palm is facing the body as you extend the arm back. Then you're turning palm up. You're lifting it up a little bit. Then you're lowering it down. Then palm faces the body and you bend. The job of the tricep is to extend the arm. If doing the little pump at the end is too much, then you can just have palm facing body, extend the arm up and back, and then bring it back. Good. Yes. Nice. So let's see, how many do I want to do? Beautiful. When it's done, you're going to place it down off to the side. You're going to come down onto your forearms. So we're going to create a little tripod support. So that means our arms are in a triangle. So you can always check soft fist and you can bring one arm down as it's sweeping through the inner elbow. So that makes sure that you don't have your elbows too close or too far away. Okay, relax the head. Now you're going to tuck the toes under and you're just going to extend the right leg back. Okay, so the toes are on the floor. Nice straight leg pushing back through the heel, lengthening up through the crown of the head, little SH breath. Then you're going to pump off your foot. So you're going to push the toes of the right foot into the floor. Your whole body will shift forward. And then you're going to release that pump and you're going to shift back. So your shoulders will go in front of the elbows and then the shoulders will stack on top of the elbows. A little push forward and back. Good. Then you're going to bring the right leg in. Take a breath, let it out. You're going to extend left leg. Okay, so take a moment just to set up. Maybe you even switch the interlace of your fingers. And if that's too much for the brain, just let it go. Okay, pushing off the foot forward and back. Just strengthening a few different muscles. This is the way that you don't normally interlace your fingers. So a little bit more interaction happening here as you slide and glide forward and back. Yeah. And then you can decide, do I want to do that individual leg one more time? So you bring left leg back, you draw it in, Okay, then you extend right leg. And some of you might just push and pump. Okay, do that 3 to 5 times, come back and do left. Some of you might want to go into full plank. So if you do, keep right leg there, extend left leg, lower the pelvis down, reach out the top of your head. If it's too much, remember you can drop your knees to the floor. Take a few breaths here, hover, 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 press the floor away. Nice, using those triceps that we strengthened today as we then come down. Do a little extension, a little puppy dog. So the pelvis is higher in the air. As you keep it high, just extend back. Let your heart float down towards the floor. Forehead, hands can stay on the floor, just releasing. Some of you might even bring palms of the hands together. Lift forearms and hands up off the floor and bring them to your back of your neck. That'll release triceps. One or two more breaths here. If you have your hands on your upper back, you're going to release. You're going to rise up. Okay, shift the weight over onto your hips. Good. Swing the legs around. Nice. Okay. We're going to feel nice and tall, lifted here. So just check, am I on my sit bones? Yeah, nice and high. Chin towards chest. Okay, now I want you to slowly tilt the pelvis back. Feel your lower back round, your middle back of the hands on the floor. Okay, do an SH breath. Gather in. Slow descent. Use your core. Slow descent. Slow descent. Nice one. Yeah, you got it. Sometimes at the last, you're like, oh, I almost made it. Hey, just note where you're going, where you ended up. Oh, now the delight of feeling full body meet the ground and just be held for a moment. Take some breaths, maybe out the mouth. Let the legs, if they choose, maybe to widen the width of the mat and maybe wiper a little bit from right to left. Exhale as they come to each side. Inhale to center. Oh, maybe a pursed lip breath. Feeling that weighted quality through feet, pelvis, right hip, left hip. And that very center point, which is that downward pointing triangle, that's your sacrum. So not only right hip and left hip, but there's a center point that you should also feel heavy. Arms can be out to the side, a foot to 2 to 3 feet away from body, palms up, take up some space. Back of the wrists, quiet through the forearms, heavy elbows, heavy upper arm, heavy shoulder and shoulder blade. Feel right shoulder blade heavy and left. Notice if one tends to float a little bit. Come back to that receiving, expanding breath, inhalation. 3-dimensional opening with easeful effort. And a 3-dimensional gathering in through ribs and belly, but also a release. Feeling heavy, as if you let your skeletal structure, the bones, descend into the support of being held by the earth. Feel the rib cage that is below the shoulder blades. I reference this as your lower rib cage. Let that part of your rib cage just release into the floor. Feel the heaviness of the skull, softness through jaw, lips, and teeth. Just breathe here as you are in your wholeness. Another minute or so. Sometimes we call this constructive rest. My teacher, she always calls it conscious rest. And I really love that variation because our goal here is to be consciously aware of resting here. The mind is not wandering. If it does, you just bring it back and feel your heavy heavies through body and breath. Let yourself settle. Everything that is worth the awareness of paying attention to is happening right now. This is a practice within itself. It's actually one of the most advanced practices of being in stillness, resting, simply being here. We are going to go into a little practice now with either supporting the pelvis or not. So, this is your choice. Some of you might find that you want to put a chip foam block under the pelvis. Some of us even play a little bit with the semi-inflated slow-mo ball. I'm just going to deflate mine a tiny bit to about 70%. Okay, so you choose. Maybe it's just nothing on the floor. My body's just wanting a little bit of support today, so I'm going to put the chip foam block underneath me, but you can also put the semi-deflated slow-mo ball about 60, 70%. And then we're going to draw the legs up. We're going to go into mortar and pestle. Yeah, knees are bent. So hands can be touching behind the back of the thighs. So this is mortar and pestle too. You can also touch and separate thumb from the fingers and touch the outside of the knees. And they might be a little bit of a leaning out of the legs into the hands and the hands pressing into the legs. So if you want to try that variation, as you exhale, the thighs are going to come towards the belly as it deflates. Then the legs are going to separate, circle out and around and away from body. And then the inner thighs come back together. Okay, so that's your inhale. As you exhale, thighs come towards body as belly deflates. As you inhale, legs separate, circle out and around and away from you. Okay, exhale, thighs come towards the deflated belly. Inhale, body expands as the legs circle out around. Okay, heavy pelvis. So just note if there's any kind of discomfort that's coming in, the height under the pelvis will release that, especially through neck, shoulders, or hips. Okay, we're just warming up a little bit deeper through the synovial fluid around shoulders and hips, our two ball and socket. And then we're going to go the other way. So as the knees come together away from body, you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to separate legs. They're going to circle around the thighs. They're going to come towards the belly as it deflates. Then as the inner thighs touch, you're going to inhale. The legs move away from body. Exhale, circle out and around. Okay, the whole time, some of you can be leaning out through the knees as you circle out and around towards belly, and hands can be gently leaning into the outer thigh, just below the knee. Good. Once you've done enough rounds for you, you're going to extend arms and legs in the air. We're going to shake them out. And you're going to grab your dowel or your tapping tool or your hands, whatever you choose. And you're going to tap through shins, calves. You can go from tapping to plowing, which is putting pressure, very soft pressure, and then you sustain that pressure as you drag. the dowel from the ankle through the shin to the lower knee. Okay, and then you pick it up and then you replace it at the ankle and you keep doing that. So this is helping with moving the fluid up towards the heart, releasing stagnation. So our whole goal in the fascia research lately is getting any points of stagnation moving. Okay, so you can do inner calf. You can even, as you go into behind the back of the knee, put the dowel there, and sometimes I'll roll very gently through the back of the knee, just doing some little sweeping. You can even put the dowel behind and just squeeze the dowel and hold it for a moment, doing very soft compression. You can go all the way down through the tapping through your whole first leg, so upper thigh as well, plowing. Maybe you find one area that you just want to move up and down with sustained pressure, up and down in a very small area, which is called combing. Shaking out when you need to. You do know that tool, but I will remind you of the cross fibering as well. So, really good for the hamstrings. So you can push the dowel into the back of the hamstrings, little bend of the knee. Okay? And then you rock the dowel from the left to the right. So it's kind of like you're teeter-tottering, crossing over the hamstring, and you can go from the back, just above the back of the knee, all the way up the hamstring towards the pelvis. Okay, bending the knee more as you get up closer to the sit bones. Can also lie on one side and even take some time to plow up through the iliotibial band, that very deep fibrous band of fascia on the outside. And tap here. And even take your hand, because sometimes a tactile awareness is quite nice. And you might even just use your hand for a moment to massage and even feel how the back of the hamstrings transition into this kind of deeper fascial band of the iliotibial band. A lot of the time it's referenced of the tendon, the muscly tendon from the tensor fasciae latae, which is at the top of the hip on the outside. When you shake it, when you jostle it, when you tap it, when we go into these myofascia tools, we're getting into these receptors that are very distinct in the fascia. And they are called your mechanoreceptors. They are identifying mechanical movement in the body. Okay, so moving, stretching, jostling, heavy, heavy vibration. Okay, they all help us increase proprioception, so body awareness in movement and space, and also interoception as we climb inside our body and we feel our body. Good. You can stay with legs for as long as you want. Those of you that want to continue up body, feet are going to be on the floor. Dowels are off to the side. Hands are tapping abdomen. Very soft palm. Right hand can tap left rib cage, left hand to right. Up through body. Sternum, collarbone, B breath. Inhale through nose, exhale. Humming as the lips touch, feel the vibration pass through the body, through the throat, through the neck, through the lips, into the skull. It will reverberate down into the heart. Okay, fascial research has said that bee breath helps to release fascial stiffness, along with all the effects that it does with the nervous system. So, whenever our fascia softens and hydrates, because of all of our nerves going through the fascia, we do have an easier time coping in life. You can tap through arms, it's yours to do. Sometimes I find if I'm just out and about or I'm pausing, sometimes bee breath just wants to come in. So I just let it. Hey, so we haven't done this one in a bit where I've continued on and sat up, but we're gonna do that today. So if you have any height underneath you, you can just take it out. You're gonna roll over to the side. You're gonna sit up. I'm gonna turn around just because it's a back body tapping awareness. So we're not tapping on spine, but we're tapping to the left or the right. So you can take your dowel. Okay, you're gonna tap over shoulder blades. Really nice. Shoulders. Really ask those trapezius muscles to let go. Other side. My body's saying, I wish we had a 2 hour class today. Because there's like about 10 to 12 more things that I wanted to do today. There's never enough time. Okay, so you can do lower back, and some of you know this fascia. Okay, so thoracic, so cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum. So it is your thoracic, lumbar fascia. It is running all off your lat muscles that attach to the inner humerus bone and all through from the thoracic spine from 7 to 12 through your lumbar and goes all the way into your sacrum and attaches into your tailbone. Okay, so you can tap on the sacrum because it's a fused bone. When this fascia gets really dehydrated and held, it pulls not only on our sacrum, but our lower back, our shoulder blades, our arm. You might even feel a little bit of foaming back here for a moment. This is your quadratus laborum muscle, attaches onto your lower rib to the top of your hip. For some of us, it gets really held, especially if we have any curvatures. So just want to relax that muscle today. Okay, I'm going to roll down. If you've got glasses on like me, you might remove them for a moment, reach the arms up, palms of the hands together, give them a really good rub. Fingers separate or together. Now, I want you to rub first, and then I want you to put your hands on your skull. And I just want you to massage your skull after you've done the palming. So send that energy into your skull. Massage the scalp fascia, your temporals. You might even feel your jaw. And then rub the hands together again. And then cover the eyes. So heel a hand on your cheekbone, palm of the hand resting on your eyes. Let all the light release out. Fingers rest on the forehead and the scalp. Just let your breath breathe through you as we pause. Just going to create some silence for you to just be with whatever is here for the next minute or so. And we're going to slowly just touch our awareness to feeling back body supported by earth, hands on the face. Notice if you want to keep your eyes closed as you remove the hand, and then just slowly let the light enter. Ah, okay, so we're going to grab something, if you choose, in between inner thighs, a little squeeze. So you can go. I always kind of investigate. Do I want to be middle of the thigh? Do I want to be closer to the pelvic floor? Sometimes being closer to the knees is really helpful. Hey, if you have a long dowel, some of you might put your hands, each palm of the hand in your dowel, pressing into it, bending the elbows. So there is a soft bend in the elbows. As you exhale and you squeeze the ball or the block, if you have it, legs come up. If you have something in between your thighs, your shins and your feet must stay at the same distance. So meaning parallel. You're going to press and reach through the heels. Now, heavy leaning, rooting back body. So head, shoulder blades, pelvis, leaning into the floor. And you're lifting your thighs up towards your abdomen, up towards your head. And as you exhale, arms are going to go one direction, legs are going to go to the other. It's an out and an up. You're just going into smiley face. You can point the toes in the center if you want. Reach through the heels as you come to the other side. Heavy shoulder blades. Okay. Inhale through center, exhale, maybe SH breath. Good. Those of you that do, as you keep squeezing the ball, want to go into the second variation of extending the legs, kicking the ball in space. Check out what your feet are doing. Are you level? Are the legs doing the same thing? Yeah, good. Can you reach up through the heels, up towards the ceiling, but then reach back through your pelvis towards the floor? Good, there it is. Nice. And you just go a few more times to each side. I'm curious how it feels if you put that in between your hands. Then right there, and you push into it. Yeah. I think it's, yeah. Feel how the difference of your torso, a little bit nicer, right? Good. Just let it flow. Ah, I can feel it through your wrists. Sorry, I just had to let you know about that. Because I was like, wow, do you feel that? Yes. Okay, so you're gonna let that go when you're ready. It's just to celebrate, right? There it is, right? There it is. There it is. Okay, shake it, shake it, shake it. Release it. Okay. I'm going to see if I can do this flow in the time that we have. So we're going to be focused. I'm going to be focused. You're going to follow me. So, Mom, your right side. Okay, so we're going to do right side first. Okay, so you're going to put a bolster down. You're going to lie on right side. Some of you may even have one weight kind of beside you, optional. Okay, so if you do, it's in front of you, just so you don't have to turn around. Okay, so head is supported on the bolster, on right side, head, torso, hips, all in one line. Draw your legs up. Yeah, just take a moment to be here. Now you're going to push your bottom foot. So that's your more like your pinky toe and your fourth toe and your third toe. Just push that right foot a little bit more into the floor and feel heavy right thigh. As you externally rotate, you're going to roll back a little bit. Your left thigh is going to come up and your left knee is pointing on a soft angle up towards the ceiling. Now you're going to extend the leg up. Shake it out. Take your left hand, just tap a tiny bit behind the hamstring, outer hip, top of the thigh. Good. Now let there be a pause, release, little soft bend of that left knee. Feel yourself sink down into the floor. Right hip, right thigh, really heavy. Okay, then you're going to do 3 heel posts. So we're going to mobilize this leg before we strengthen it. So we're going to lower the whole leg down. It works as a unit. Down, so you might SH breath here. Okay, then you might inhale up. So you choose. Sometimes I'll SH down, shh, hover for a moment, and then inhale, exhale. Pull up on the core to lift and float the leg up. Okay, so you're just going up and down. Shh. Nice. The foot does not need to touch the floor. If it does, it is the toes that touch, not the heel. It's almost like the toes are touching something really hot and it kind of jumps away from the floor. Good. 1 or 2 more. We're just getting that slide and glide through the fascia of the whole leg. Now, once the next time your leg comes down, you're going to roll back onto your right side. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper in strengthening. So you're going to extend that left leg, pushing out through inner and outer heel. Then you're going to bring that left leg forward about 2 feet in front of you. Then you're going to internally rotate that leg so the toes start to point down towards the floor. And you're going to try to touch the toes on the floor and push the toes into the floor as you reach through and out the heel. Okay, you're keeping that extended quality. Left hand can be in front of the torso. Hands can be tented or flat on the ground. You choose. Then you're going to keep this quality as you lift straight leg up, toes stay pointed down, internal rotation, and down. So keep reaching out through the inner and outer heel. Nice straight leg, up and down. Don't worry about how high it comes up and down. Yeah, there it is. Couple more. Mm-hmm. Good. Your leg is in front, Tatiana, of your right leg. So left leg is forward towards me. Yeah, there it is. About 1 to 2 feet in front of the right leg. So just do a couple more just so you can feel that. Good. And some of you that have been doing it a while, you're probably wanting to stop. So you're going to stop for a moment, shake it out, and then you're just going to roll forward, bring that left leg up, roll off your bolster if you want, and just pause for a moment. So you're just in a very relaxed release position. I'm just going to watch my microphone here. Okay, so I'm not using the floor. My left leg is actually on the floor here. It's not on the mat, which most of you might be with me. So you can just stay here. Some of you can even slide. We're going to do a little slide and glide of release. Slide that shin in the foot along the floor. It doesn't have to come to a straight leg, but you're just extending and then releasing the calf back towards the back of the thigh. Just slide on the floor. You're in release mode, so this is a release tool. Yeah, good. Good, just watching online. So you can see, Amelia, that your knee is going up and down. So just find a place, and it's only the shin and the foot. Emily, sorry. Yeah, it's only the shin and the foot that come up. Good. And the thigh stays where it is. Yeah, you got it. Okay, and then you're gonna roll back. Okay, your left arm, as you stack your knees, your left arm is gonna come up towards the ceiling. Now, you can either keep the arm here for a couple times, wiggle the fingers and thumb point to the ceiling, little bend to the elbow, and then you can circle for a few rounds in the air. Just doing mortar and pestle 1. Now, some of you might feel, oh, this feels really good. I'm just going to stay here. Some of you might want to go down and grab your weight, hold it very softly in your hand, little bend to the elbow, and circle. Again, in the air. One direction. Your head's facing forward. Mine's just a little bit lifted just because I have my microphone on this side. And then you go the other way. Beautiful. And then you release. Okay. Take a breath. Let it out. And take a breath. Let it out. And one more time. Okay, so that is our flow. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So all you're going to do is just roll over. I'm going to completely turn myself so that I'm continually facing you. Take your weight with you if you're using it. If you're not, don't worry about it. Okay, head, torso, pelvis, all in one line. So you're not curved forward. Let the legs come up. You don't have to be all the way up to the chest, but they're not too far down. They're kind of like in a middle point. Okay, find an evenness. Lean the bottom foot, toes, pinky, fourth toe, maybe even third toe into the floor. That's your left leg. So there's a little pushing of the floor away. Then you're going to roll back a little bit, externally rotate, open the leg, shake it, shake it, shake it, tap it, tap it, tap it. Back of the thigh, outer thigh, top of the thigh. Good. And then you're going to bend the knee. Exhale, just soften. Let everything drop. Good. Use your SH breath if you need to. Keep pressing that left foot into the floor as that right leg lowers down. If you want to touch something to the floor, it is the toes, not the heels. The toes are reaching. The heel is gently reaching, but there is a bend to the knee so that when we bend and we soften the skin, the outer layer, it becomes very softly draping. And then the superficial fascia and the deep fascia can then go into a slide and glide. It's more so the superficial fascia, which is directly under the skin, that does majority of the slide and glide. Yeah, we're just mobilizing the whole leg. Do one or two more. Three heel pose. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, then when the leg comes down, you're going to roll down back onto left side. Then you're going to extend right leg like you're pushing something away. And I want you to push out through the inner heel and the outer heel. Then that right leg moves forward. Okay? In front of the left leg, toes turn down. And then the toes are coming down to the floor. Don't worry if you don't touch, but keep reaching out through your inner outer back of the heel. So you keep that straight leg. The leg goes up and down. So we're just strengthening the abductors today. Feel your breath. Each time you exhale, feel that gathering, that wrapping around of the transverse from back body to front. You do as many as it feels good for you. You should feel this whole glute area just lighting up for you, awakening. Yeah, and when you're ready, you release that. You lean forward. So I like to come off the bolster and just rest on my left arm. Bring that right leg up to a place that feels comfortable where you can fully let go. This is about release here. Just let a breath out the mouth. Nice. And then some of you might just be here. Some of you might want to allow the shin and the foot to slide and glide along the floor. This is just another release tool to get slide and glide back into the leg. Yeah, we're doing really good. Okay, you can pause when you're ready. Ah, let go. Notice as we just have one last thing that we're going to do as we come back to roll on left side. Head comes back on the bolster, legs stack. Hey, right arm comes up. You can do it with or without the weight. My fingers just point to the ceiling as well as the thumb. There's a little reach up, and then there's a bend of the elbow to let the ball of the shoulder descend into the socket. And then you wait. The arm will decide which direction it wants to go, counter or clockwise. Okay, this is not a very big movement. You're just rolling around in the cup and the lip of the shoulder joint. Some of you know that lip called the labrum. Mm. And feel sometimes there's a little skippy and hoppy in one of the shoulders, go both directions. In time, that will smooth out. Just let be whatever's there. Just feel the relationship of body. And when you're ready, you descend. You can move the bolster out from behind the head. You can choose, do I want to lie flat on the floor? My body was just wanting to go into, we were talking about a starfish of taking up as much space as you want. I took the bolster and just put it on my belly to help drop me into the earth. So this might be a position. You might feel that you want to put the bolster behind the knees or go into a supported bridge or on your side body. I think some of you even go into balasana, child's pose. Okay, if you need any other movements, you just go there. But if you're ready, just let yourself be. Oh, take some breaths. Notice the practice percolating through you. Let your breath now have its own timing just to breathe through you. It's in its autonomic function. We notice that exhale, that release, that surrendering into gravity. And that inhale where we receive, we widen, we replenish. Okay, so we need to create space of what's no longer needing to be held or serving us so that we then can receive and renew. There's a piece that I came to be shared today, and it's supporting those moments where we don't feel okay. So sometimes in life, we're moving through and we're like, I don't feel okay right now. And this poem is called Not Okay. I'm not okay today. So, in the absence of okay, what else can I be? I can be gentle. I can be unashamed. I can turn my pain into connection. I can be a student of stillness. I can be awake to nature. I can sharpen my empathy against the stone of my discomfort. I am not okay, but I am many worthy things. I am not okay, but I am many, many worthy things. Just gonna take a few more breaths here. Thank yourself for showing up today and noticing the shift in body from when you arrive through mind and breath and awareness. And taking the effects of this practice with you as you rise and start to awaken through wiggling fingers and toes and letting that move up through arms and legs, letting the body undulate in whatever way it wants to awaken, to stretch, to yawn in your fullness. Take your time as you release some props off to the side. So if you had it on body today or under body today. And then you might just roll over onto the side and just pause there for a moment. Okay, so just take a couple beats. Notice transition. So sometimes we just rush through transition. in life, but I'm asking you today is when you transition to pause and just notice these moments. And then after a couple breaths, take top arm, hand to the floor, press it into the floor. Inhale, let yourself float up into a seated, whether you're cross-legged or you're straight leg. If you are straight leg, you're pushing the sit bones, the back of the thighs, the calves into the floor. So this is called Dandasana. It's really good strengthening through the whole body and spine. Arms are out to the side. Palms face forward as we exhale as a group. As we keep pressing down, inhale, let the arms float up. Now you can have palms up when you get to the height of the shoulders, and then I want you to turn your palms in and then bring your arms a little bit forward like you're drawing a top of a triangle. And then as the palms touch, exhale, receive as you draw a line in front of your body through face, throat, heart, belly. Arms out to the side. You can inhale to palms up just to the height of the shoulder and then turn palms in. Bring the arms forward like you're drawing a top of a triangle as the palms touch. Exhale in front of you. And one more time. Palms up. And then palms turn in to face one another as the arms go forward and the top of our triangle and touch and pause at heart this time. Let the breath breathe as you need it. Feel us all being intersupported by one another. And this will continue on as we finish the practice and move throughout our day. But you can open your eyes and lift your skull. Um, I always like to take some time to recognize and thank everyone that came today, and you might as well. Thank you for being online.